Hello squad, how are you doing today? Today, well, we're going over the patch notes for Rise My Minion. A lot of stuff to cover, as you can see. Let's go ahead and just jump into skins real quick for those of you who are interested. Well, they're apparently going to pop out. So we have a new Bastet skin, we have a new Kukulkan skin, new Nemesis skin, new Serket skin, an awesome Xbalanque skin for the SPL, and of course the alternate card for that, and Vulcan getting his update. I will be linking to this site so you guys can check all of those out more in depth, but these are just the cards. So let's go ahead and talk about some other stuff. Curse is getting some updates. That's the thing that's happening. We are also getting achievements, lots of achievements. Very cool stuff. All of this will be at the end of the video. You can just go through and watch it and listen to some music or something. But yeah, so basically how the SPL season ticket's going to work is it's going to be a fantasy league type thing. You purchase the border around your character for the loading screen cards, and then you can use it. Oh, and you also get the two SPL Xbalanque skins. But you put the skin on, or the loading frame on, and as you win games, you get points. You also get points by choosing the correct teams that win, as all this is written right here. So basically, if you can choose the correct teams that are winning, then you get the points. Or if you win games, you get points. And at 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 for now, you will unlock new skins and stuff. So at 3,000, he is who you get. At 2,000, I believe you get her. And at 1,000, you got something at 1,000. I don't remember. But you get something at 1,000, and they were talking about adding more stuff later on. So that's how it works. It's kind of cool. It's different from last year's viewing thing that we got with all the Odyssey stuff. Not to say that they won't do something like that still, but for now, this is what we're going with. As I said, Curse right here. It's getting some updates, just some general things that aren't really like that important. Along with the achievements, you will be able to display like your top achievement that you got. Some of the achievements are very bland, like get X amount of kills. Some of them are very specific, like landing the last hit as a guardian to get a kill on somebody. Which is kind of cool. I like it. A ton of new UI stuff. Some typo fixes, some attack speed caps, and all that good stuff. We have a new Smite store, which is pretty cool. General gameplay, not really a whole lot to say about it, reading it. Nothing important. But let's move on to some important stuff. We've got items to talk about. So, start off with the new item that we're adding, or that they're adding. Not we. It is basically a new mage item. Maybe a like support mage item or a guardian item, maybe, or like an Kuang or Freya item. And what this item does is it gives you 20 power, 100 mana, starting at the gate, and you get, as you auto attack or basic attack, you get a portion of an enemy's soul, whether it be a minion or a god or whatever. Each soul grants you MP5, so you can get up to 20 MP5 at 5 souls. Then your next ability is cast as if you had an additional 30 power. So that's 50 power in all. That's a pretty big amount of damage. Like, think about it, 50 power at level 1. Like, that's going to be good for gods who don't have, like, really good clear. I don't know if I'm assuming that there's going to be, like, a buff timer, and you can't just run around with a constant, 20 MP5, right? But, yeah. So pretty cool. I like it. Devourer's Gloves is getting a slight buff, or, excuse me, nerf. It's losing 5 power overall, but it's also gaining the need for 15 more stacks. So basically, what they want to do is they're switching it up so that you'll get the same amount of power overall and lifesteal, except for the base 5, but you'll be more abusable if you went for this item. There's also some other changes that we would need to talk about in a second. But the concept is it's going to have as many stacks as you would need for Book of Thoth. So you need 75 stacks. Not terribly hard to get, but it's definitely going to slow it down a little bit. Next we have...
I have eyes everywhere.
Oh, okay. That's this page right here. We will get into that in a second. Holy moly, I clicked that like 20 minutes ago. That scared the shit out of me. So next we have Frostbound Hammer and Heavy Hammer. We're going to skip Heartseeker. Frostbound Hammer now has an additional 100 health, so 400 health in all. And Heavy Hammer has had its slow reduced by 10%, and it lost 100 health. So basically they took the 100 health and moved it up to the Frostbound Hammer. What this is going to mean is that Heavy Hammer is not as good early game on warriors and stuff as it used to be. Meaning that if they want to get this item, they're going to want to actually push to Frostbound Hammer because, well, it's going to have an extra 100 health in all, which means a lot of tankiness early on. Other than that, though, it is pretty much exactly the same. The slow means that, you know, you're not really going to be able to gank as easy, but chances are if you were going all in, this hammer will very slightly be less effective. Like 10%'s a lot, but you're still going to be able to get kills with it if you decide to pick it up early. Heartseeker, though, got a buff. They lowered the price so that it's equal with Doom Orb, and they also increased the physical power by 5. So basically they just took Devourer's Gloves and gave it to Heartseeker. So Heartseeker starts are going to be more viable now. This will make the crazy build that one guy takes credit for, but we did it back in season 1 of using using Hasten Fatalis with Heartseeker. That's going to be an earlier build that will be possible with no boots. And also just Heartseeker is going to be more viable of an item, really shutting out my preferred item of choice completely. But that's fine, whatever. So Devourer's Gloves a little bit weaker, Heartseeker a little bit stronger, Hydra Star, whatever. Magi's Blessing getting a slight nerf, so it is going to be 60 seconds for the CC immunity, so every minute, which is a lot of people are like complain about Magi's Blessing. But there's so much crowd control in the game anyway. I don't know. I guess for Conquest I like this, but I think for Arena it really kind of just sucks. But whatever. Other than that, let's move on to boots. So boots are getting some major changes. Every boot except for 2 of them are getting major change. Well, there's only 4. Whatever. Look. So basically, they're increasing the amount of health that reinforced boots or shoes and boots and greaves give you to 150. So you'll be a little bit more tanky. And then Boots of Talaria and Boots of the Traveler are getting not only increased movement speed, they're also getting, if you hit a god, you get 50 experience and 50 gold, or 30 gold, excuse me. And this is a cooldown of 90 seconds on a single god. So say you're in the duo lane and you tag both of the people there. So say you're going up against a Sobek and an Artemis, you are Athena, you taunt them, you get credit for the passive, right? You then rotate to mid and you hit the jungler and you hit the mid laner with a taunt or a dash or something, an ultimate from Athena. You would then get the passive again. So that would be 4 passives that you could get within a 10-20 minute time span, which means that you will be getting 120 gold and 200 experience for doing that. So you are able to rotate more. Well, one, you're able to rotate faster through the jungle, so you're able to get anywhere you want to be, and then you're also rewarded for being able to get there and do something. So, you know, it's worth it to just dash in and hit someone and then walk away, right? Like, so you can get the extra gold. Very, very neat. I like it. So let's talk about god changes. There's quite a few of these, and some are very basic, some are not. So Athena, they're fixing the voice when casting an ability. Cool. Apollo buff, he's getting slightly more base power, and his base power per level is increasing slightly. They're trying to make him a little bit more viable through auto attacks, which I like. Kuang is getting a fairly big buff. Not only is he getting a automatic detonation on his ultimate, on his water illusion, which is the thing that makes him stealth. He can also use Dragon's Call while stealth, and it won't reveal him. So it's going to be the Loki effect of, you know, you hear a Loki invis, and you hear the aim strike charge up, and you just kind of like, oh god, like, I abuse this. I love this. It's the only thing I'm good at on Loki. And then, very sadly, at least in Arena, King of the Eastern Seas is getting buffed. So the cast range has been increased by 2 feet, which it's really weird. They use feet sometimes, and then they use units at other times. I don't get it, but whatever. The threshold is now a flat 30%, and it now restores your health so that you can go back into fighting, unless, you know, you get really low, and then you're not going to want to. So that's cool. Awilix is getting, let's see. Oh, Awilix is getting a slight buff, I guess. Whenever Tyr knocks somebody up, she is able to pull them. So, one more person to help her out. Bologna? Whatever. Chronos is getting a slight buff. The Lotus Crown passive now works with his 1, so I guess that's good for assault and stuff. Not really good for much else, but, you know. Share the Love apparently says magical power right now. I never noticed that. Kumbhakarna is getting a slight buff. His Mighty Yawn now applies an attack speed slow if the enemies are awoken early. So that's cool. Epic Uppercut. 25% of the damage from this ability now happens on the initial hit, with the remaining 75% when they land. So basically they made it so that if somebody... Actually, I almost wish it was the opposite, but whatever. So basically, if you use Epic Uppercut and somebody uses CC immunity, it still does damage to them, so, you know, that's still a, I don't know, I guess it's a short enough cooldown, it's okay. But it's still the same amount of damage in all, which I think is good, like, that's cool. Mercury, let's see, fixed Mercury gaining bonus. Oh, yeah, okay, I thought that was a bug, but whatever, people told me I was wrong. There was a bug with Mercury where if you had Talaria boots, you would still get the passive, or you'd get the full bonus of his passive for the boots out of combat movement speed increase, so that's interesting. Neath now, yay, buff Neath, I love it. Spirit Arrow now has increased damage, only a little bit, let's see, 10, 15... 20, 25, 30. Okay, so yeah, what I just said, buff to each of the levels, and the scaling is increased from 80 to 90. This means also that if she hits a Spirit Arrow, it's going to hit a lot harder too. So, I mean, excuse me, if she hits a Spirit Weave. So if she hits that combo and hits you with both, she's definitely going to be doing a lot more damage. She's an ability-based hunter. We need more of her, and I'm glad that they're buffing her up. Osiris, apparently there was a bug where he had 2 boots in his recommended items. I don't know, I don't play Osiris. But he also has more attack speed to make up for the fact that keen size and stuff had been nerfed. Going on to Wukong, getting a slight buff as far as minion clear. His magic cudgel now does 25% bonus damage to them instead of just 20. To help him with his clear. Master's Will gets a flat 10% on each level, increase in damage. And 72 transformations. The Tiger Stun duration now has higher scaling. So it goes from 1 second to 1.4 seconds instead of 0.06 seconds to 1.4 seconds. Apparently there was a mess up with there. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as all that goes. So some pretty good changes. Some buff to some gods who really need it. No real nerfs, which is something that makes me a little sad, because I feel that there are still a couple of characters that are just a little tweaking down, just a little bit. Some cool item changes. Love new items being added. I wish we had more items being added. I kind of wish there was a transcendence change to make the item more viable, but whatever. Maybe cooldown or something. That'd be a cool change. Add 15% cooldown or reduce the cost or something. So let's talk about Ah Puch. Was it Ah Puch? Basically, Ah Puch. Ah Punch. Ah Puchy. I don't know. God, how long is this video already? 16 minutes. Okay, so I can go this quickly. So he is a very awesome. Like, I'm gonna be playing the hell out of him because I love Mayan gods. So basically, to get the whole concept of his kit, I'm just going to try to describe it in very few words, and then you can watch the video and see how it works. Basically, his one is he summons a corpse that runs forward and blows up when it hits anything. His two detonates corpses. On its own, it doesn't really do a whole lot, but if you detonate it near a corpse, it'll cause an extra explosion. So you can think like a Neath Spirit Weave or Spirit Arrow into Spirit Weave, or you can think of what I was thinking more of was Agni dropping his noxious fumes and then using a meteor to ignite it. That's what I think of it as. But it's kind of like a Scylla thing where it just like takes a second and then blows up. So it's not completely easy to get out of. Fleeting Breath is the anti-healing ability that he has, which is really cool. It's a niche pick type thing. So basically, whenever you hit somebody with it, they get a dot. And if they try to heal during that dot, they will then take damage instead, or also, and get stunned for a certain amount of time if they heal. And it's a tick-based heal. So if you heal with a tick, then it's going to do a lot more damage. His passive is whenever he walks over an ability that has a corpse. Fleeting Breath also does a corpse, by the way. Yeah, he throws a charm that's a decaying corpse. If he walks over a dead body, basically, he gets his cooldown on his one reduced, he gets healing, and he gets mana back. So all of it kind of works together in a cool combo. He has 6 corpses he can have out at one time, which means he can detonate 6 corpses at one time. If you stand where he detonates 6 corpses, you're going to take ridiculous damage. His ultimate is like the massivest AoE that they could think of that wasn't like just a complete global. And it's basically a million little spirits running at you. And each spirit does damage to you and slows you. But it can be blocked by walls, so, you know, you can drop it inside of an Odin ring and use it and people will be stuck with it or whatever. But it also, each spirit only hits the first person, so if you have like a tank in front, you can walk through it without taking too much damage. And that's pretty much his entire kit. Like, it looks a lot better if you go look at it in the video, but I like it. Post down in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Also, feel free to comment on the structure of these videos. I don't really know how to, or what I want to do with them, so I figured, like, my goal is to just tell you everything and then let you watch the video footage that I recorded and just get what you can out of it, and hopefully it works and you learn something. This god is going to be really awesome, and I'm hoping he isn't like release Nemesis or release Nox, where he's just not worth anything. But I think he's going to be, and I wonder if the bodies can be destroyed. I don't know, because they had a health bar, so I'm hoping they can't. But we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Post comments, do all that. And most importantly, guys, have a wonderful day.
Studio, they just worked really hard to make a custom piece of art, colored and really high quality for each individual achievement. So, and you know, sometimes you don't really see that all that much, but we really wanted to go the extra mile to make sure that everything you achieve in Smite makes you feel good about it and you can show it off on your profile.
Oh, dude, some of these achievement examples are awesome. So you have very simple ones, such as completed a match with a god from all 7 pantheons.
That's right.
And then you have a more detailed one that's get the killing blow on an enemy god with a basic attack while playing a guardian.
That's right. Yes.
And then you have time-based ones, such as your team kills the fire giant by 10 minutes and 30 seconds. There's a lot of them, a lot of ones that people can actively do, or maybe even passively do. They're like, okay, well, you know, I can play a different god from each pantheon throughout the day. Like, it's amazing, and you know, you can also pick your favorite achievement to show on your player profile.
That's right. So you can show off which ones you're the most proud of, if they're really rare or something that maybe not everyone has done before, and you can really kind of pick it up and show it off. So, you know, I'm really excited about it.
So you were talking right before this, you said the Smite store might be getting updated. And,
That's right.
And that it is, and hopefully we can show that right now. Yeah, the store is getting completely overhauled, and from my personal side, I'm really excited about some of the things that we're bringing to the plate. You can now search for things that are on sale, things that you don't own. There's other ways to search, so it's a lot easier to search for maybe icons or emotes or anything like that. Oh, what is...
That's the new Vamana skin.
Oh, Cangasiero?
That's right. That's the new Vamana skin. Let's move on.
You can now search emotes without having to click each god if you wanted to buy all the dance emotes from all the gods. And now it just shows you where all the emotes are. It's really nice. It's definitely cleaner, and it's also a lot easier for people to search for specific things or just things in general for emotes, skins, wards, etc.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that go into it, but also just gives you more accessibility to kind of look through it. I mean, obviously, we add so much content every single patch, you know, the overall content gap is just growing, and so this really allows you to search specifically what you're looking for. One of the cool things, one of my favorites as well, is you can go to the emotes tab and type in the god's name. It'll show you all the emotes side by side. You can buy them one by one. You don't have to worry about it. You know, this just kind of improves a little bit of the usability and also makes it feel, you know, much more, it has better flow when you're going through the store.
Definitely, I agree. Now, one of the things that is also being updated that people can purchase is a Smite World Championship season ticket.
That's right.
Now, this has a lot of things to offer, and I'm gonna read them off right now. Is that when unlocking the new season ticket bundle, you receive 2 SPL Xbalanque skins, the season ticket loading frame, and access to the season ticket fantasy game.
That's right.
That each ticket purchase contributes $2.50 to the general prize pool for Season 2 Esports, which we did last year with the Odyssey. So, give me a rundown on the season ticket and especially the season ticket fantasy game.
Right, well, you know, a little bit different from last year, right? A lot of the prize pool that came from the Odyssey specifically was geared towards the SWC, whereas this is more of, you know, a Season 2 ticket, where it's just, you know, the general funding for the rest of Season 2, prize pools for LAN events, and really ways for players to get, who are actively involved in esports and playing and competing every day, to get some rewards to really kind of pay off for how much time they've invested in being the best players in Smite in the world. And, you know, what you're going to do is, you know, you're going to be able to pick this up, and you'll get 2 skins right off the bat. You'll get, of course, a European and a North American SPL 2015 Xbalanque skin. You got the mask up on screen right there, so you can show your pride for your I guess your continent at that point, and really show, you know, where your loyalties lie. But along with that, you'll get a loading frame. This is actually probably one of the most important aspects as you start with the season ticket. You know, equipping this loading frame, you see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there. While this is on, you actually start collecting points. Now, there's a couple ways to collect points, and you know, your points allow you to get rewards. We'll go over that in a second, but specifically having this frame on consistently, when you win games, you'll collect fantasy points. That's one of the ways to do it. But one of the cool things about this fantasy game is it actually allows you to show how much you know about the SPL and the professional teams.
Really?
You'll get a list of all the matchups coming up for that week in the Smite Pro League, and you get to pick who you think is going to win, and whether or not you get it correct, you'll get more fantasy points.
Ah, so unlike the fantasy system that we had before where people built their own fantasy team, this you pick the team that you think they can win. That's exciting. And what else are people going to get for the Smite World Championship season ticket?
By winning games with the loading frame active, you get 15 fantasy points, and then 20 for being able to get a correctly picked game win for the team during the SPL. Of course, these matches have to be chosen before the match actually begins, but as you accrue points, you start to earn rewards. And right now, we're planning to add more rewards in the future, but right now we have 3 rewards planned, one at 1,000, one at 2,000, and one at 3,000. So I guess we're looking at the big cheese here, the final reward, which is going to be at 3,000 points, which is our Void Worm Kukulkan skin. This is probably one of my favorite skins we've done in a very, very
Look at
long
it! Look
time.
how cool it is! It's so creepy and alien-esque, but also kind of has a dragon vibe behind him. And you know, and like the winged serpent, it's just. It's so cool. It's so creepy, and I'm a really big fan. So by getting to 3,000 points,
That's right.
you get this skin for free.
Just unlocks. There's the giant alien.
Oh, nice! Even the ultimate has the giant alien. Oh. That is terrifying. Oh god! All right.
You can see he speaks an alien language. He's not 100%.
So I just want to confirm. So people have purchased, or they have the loading or the loading frame, but they don't use it. The points won't matter.
You won't collect points for winning a game. So when you queue
Okay.
up for normal matches, as long as you have the loading frame equipped, you'll start earning those points just for playing the game that you play already. And then, of course, you get the points for correctly picking the teams. That's the two ways to get points right now.
All right. So this isn't the only award that you guys get. Before you get the Skullculkin, you're going to be getting a Nemesis skin that
right.
looks ridiculous.
She's awesome.
Dude, like Executioner, or what would be the proper? What's the proper skin name for this?
I'm actually blanking on that one, but yeah, kind of the idea of it, right? Executioner, and you
I
got
was
the hood
right.
on top of her. You've got that sweet axe that she's swinging as well, and you know, a custom voice pack came along with this one. This is actually the first reward you get for the season ticket fantasy game. So this one requires 1,000 points, and once you have that, you're all set and ready to go. This is the first thing you'll unlock, and she's pretty awesome.
She's so cool. I'm a really big fan of this, like this metal, like, you know, kind of rock band look that a lot of these skins are getting. I'm a big fan. Now we have a tier 2 skin coming up. This doesn't have anything to do with this My World Championship ticket,
Nope.
but it is a Circuit tier 2 skin. You guys saw that on Twitter if you saw on Smite Game, and I honestly like some of these tier 2 skins more than I like some of the tier 3 and 4 skins. It's simple, it's only 250 gems, so if you don't have a lot of gems and you want to, like, you know, get something a little small on the side, it's
right.
perfect. It looks so cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of these tier 2 skins, originally we realized that, you know, the base character, I mean, while people love skins and changing the character, sometimes you love the base character, the personality, the visuals and everything, like you're really attached to that character, and we didn't really want to break that, right? So you have this opportunity to alter slightly the character you love so much while getting a different flair and making you stand out a little bit more, while keeping that base character you like a lot.
Yeah, that's right. And as a reminder, guys, these tier 2 skins, although they are cheaper, they don't have any custom animations or voice packs. It's just small model changes and maybe something beyond that.
Yep.
But we have a new card update. It is Vulcan Ironsmith card. Ooh.
He's a champion.
I'm a big fan of the purple on that. The dark and the light, the contrast is going on. All right, and we have, oh gosh, all right. So we've had some like cool rock skins. We've had some small, like, nice little updates, and now we have the best skin, tier 4. It's adorable. You could say it's kawaii.
It is quite adorable, yes.
Kawaii, as
Kawaii.
the one and only Avril Lavigne once said. Let's just show the best at kawaii pop skin.
She's a kawaii kitty.
Oh, look at that! It's so
She's a
adorable.
kawaii kitty.
Oh my gosh, there's rainbows and hearts. It looks like a rainbow girl mixed with Sailor
Look at the
Moon.
cat. It gets sad when you don't jump back.
Oh no! So there's custom animations for not just like the passive and all. Oh
Rainbow
wait,
Nan cats?
the cats have rainbow trails?
Yes, they're rainbow Nan cats.
And they're white. Kidding.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. So this is the new tier 4 kawaii pop basket skin, everyone. And it is goddamn kawaii.
It is.
And there's a little something else in there for the, what is it, the loading animation that I'm sure Pon is quite a big fan of. But
Yeah, so in part of the voice pack, you'll see some really cool things that come out of it.
I don't know if you guys can hear the voice pack, but I can.
So sorry.
Fantastic.
That was fun, friend. Mina-san, good luck. Shushies. Please don't fret. That's not fair. Let's have fun.
And voice pack, everyone. Now, Rory, this is Ah Puch.
That's right.
Ooh, look at that car. Oh my gosh. So he looks kind of like a witch doctor, right? That's exactly what he looks like.
got that kind of mind flavor added into him, and of course, you know, he is the Lord of the Dead and Lord of the Underworld, so he does have a lot of, you know, death elements added to him.
So cool.
But you know, his dominion over the dead is really what we attach to for this character. So you know, big shout outs to our art team and really the people that are able to create, you know, the visuals for this guy. I mean, he's so scary.
And as you wait, am I incorrect? Is that the right passive? Oh, is that skulls?
Those are zombie heads.
Oh, he's so creepy and cool. I'm a big fan. All right, so his passive, let's go over that.
Sure.
It is called Hollow Ground.
That's right.
Ah Puch is closely attuned with the dead and may exhume decaying corpses at his will. When walking over a decaying corpse, Ah Puch lowers the cooldown of Undead Surge by 2 seconds, restores 6% of his maximum health and 3% of his maximum mana. So what is a decaying corpse?
He has corpses all over the ground. So throughout his abilities in various ways, he can create and deploy corpses or exhume them and kind of have them around the map. Actually, that's that passive meter you see there. He can have up to 6 of them in the world at one point. And so if he decides at any point he is feeling like a snack, he can go and eat one of them and heal himself and actually lower the cooldown on his number 1 by 2 seconds.
Well, let's go over that number 1. It is called Undead Surge. Why don't you go over that?
So Undead Surge is his first ability, and so what this is you know, a little bit different take on projectiles we have in this game. And so what he'll do is he'll raise a decaying corpse from the ground that animates for a short time. It'll run forward, and then it will actually explode on anything it touches. This includes walls, this includes minions, this includes gods. If it touches anything, it will explode.
So even player deployables like
That's
Ymir's
right.
wall.
Anything. If it touches anything, it'll explode.
Oh,
This
wow.
is a very volatile creature, and so it actually will not stand for being touched at all.
Oh, and that's his passive right there. So if he stood on that, he would have gone 6% of his maximum health back. Nice.
That's right, and he just did. Let's see, they walk over it, so he's going to gobble it up, and he's going to get the cooldown lowered on the 1. You saw that go down by 2 seconds there. Also heals him for his maximum health and maximum mana. So he's kind of, you know, built around deploying these things, eating them, and moving around and doing that kind of business. But the explosion will actually apply a pretty significant slow at level 1, and he's able to do a lot of damage with this one. One thing that's neat about this one as well is that ranks 4 and 5, he actually transforms this as he gets stronger throughout the game. Ranks 4 and 5, he'll summon 2 zombies instead of 1, and they'll run forward and explode together.
Oh, so it kind of gets like a Scylla passive, right? Where
right.
towards the end of his abilities, they get something a little extra.
But the key part about that is instead of dropping 1 corpse, because the decaying corpse will come out of the ground, run forward, and fall to the ground, and he'll be able to interact with it. At ranks 4 and 5, it'll be 2, and so he'll have 2 corpses to play with.
And that's 12% health right there.
That's right.
Really nice. So Corpse Explosion is number 2. Ah Puch causes the target area to explode, dealing damage. And the Corpse Explosion also causes any decaying corpses in the area to explode. Ooh! He's a combo god.
He is.
Ooh, all right. So give me a rundown of Corpse Explosion.
So Corpse Explosion by itself, if you targeted no corpses, this actually has a very small effect. You know, a Mayan rune will burn into the ground and it'll actually do a little bit of damage. It's very, very minimal there. In fact, if you don't hit any corpses with this, this does almost no damage. But the key with this one is that if you do happen to hit a corpse, the explosion caused by Corpse Explosion will make any corpse in the area explode separately. You can cover a pretty large area with this. So you hit that corpse, cause the corpse to explode, they'll both deal damage. And that's all it is, just a giant explosion.
Okay, so it's like Neith's anytime she pops a weave.
That's right.
All right, fantastic. All right, Fleeting Breath has number 3. Ah Puch throws a charm from the underworld, which awakens a decaying corpse that applies. They spelled this word wrong. Miasma?
Miasma.
Oh, is that a right word? What's miasma?
Miasma is just kind of like a airborne illness goop thing.
Ah.
It's not friendly.
No, it doesn't sound friendly at all.
No.
It applies that to targets in an area and falls to the ground, remaining behind. So, let's go over this.
So this ability is definitely the wordiest of them all, and this is kind of our effort to creating more counter characters in Smite. So what this ability in itself is, number 1, it's a way for Ah Puch to create more corpses. Obviously, you throw the charm, it attracts a corpse from the underworld, and it'll lay there, and you can eat it, you can explode it, you can interact with it. Obviously, there's a very clear combo here. You throw the 1, you throw the 3, you throw the 2, and they will all explode together, and you'll get a bunch of corpses inside of that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's right. And so what this will do right off the bat is if you hit someone with this, it'll apply a damage over time effect. This effect lasts 5 seconds. And so they'll just be ticking for damage, taking damage the whole time. But unfortunately for the victim, this ability is actually listening for what they do in those 5 seconds. So this is an anti-healer ability. If you, at any point during those 5 seconds, heal yourself, the fleeting breath will start coming out of your mouth. You're losing your breath and kind of like losing stableness. Every single time you heal yourself, you'll be building up a stack of fleeting breath. At the end of the duration, you will take damage and increase the stun amount for how many times you heal yourself. So if you don't heal at all, right? You don't heal yourself a single time. This is with abilities only. You will take just the dot damage, and that's it. It'll fall off and go away, and you'll go on your merry way. If you were to, for example, stand in a raw beam for 4 ticks,
And each tick.
each tick would do a flat amount of damage, and then it will. If you heal once, it starts at 1 second.
So
stun.
raw and Afro pretty good against, but someone like Hel or Chang'e that have single heals, not
Yes,
so much.
they're better at it. So it's more
Okay.
about tick heals. Someone like Hercules, in fact, Hercules is one of his free kills. I mean, he's a natural predator for Hercules.
Ooh.
And
So you think he's a solo lane god over a
he
mid
could
lane?
he could be solo, he could be mid. He plays them both pretty well.
Okay, fantastic.
So what happens is, if you heal once, you'll get a little tick of damage there. And the base stun amount starts at 1 second. And then that stun duration increases for how many times you're healed. So for example, the max amount is 10 stacks. If you were to heal yourself, which there's no character in the game right now that can heal himself 10 times by an ability by themselves, so you'd have to have a Sylvanas heal on you and you'd be standing in a raw beam.
Yeah.
But if you had some giant team-wide heal, you'll see that green mask appearing. At the end, big burst of damage, and then they'll be stunned for a very long time. This stun can actually go up to 3 seconds if you heal yourself a lot.
So he's not just a combo god in himself, he combos well with other gods. Like say you have a Geb that ults in and he stuns everyone, then you have the enemy place a raw heal over them, and then you place your 3 on that. That would do so much damage to everyone.
I mean, we've had playtests where, Athena taunted the enemy back into a raw heal when they had it on him. They get dotted up and killed. Someone like Sun Wukong, if you hit him before he goes up on his clouds, as he's ticking on the cloud and
No
healing,
way!
it stacks up the effect. He'll get stunned and damaged. And so there's a pretty huge counterplay element here. It's really going to come down to who you're up against and who's on your team and how you play well with them. But of course, if the enemy team picks a Sylvanas, who's very popular right now, you would throw out this ability on top of them. It would tick, 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 and then you have a big guaranteed stun and a big burst of damage at the end. I mean, he's very good against healers.
I'm a really big fan of all these niche gods. But we're not done with him yet. His ultimate,
right.
Empty the Crypts, Dry Bear, Rory, whatever your name is now. Run it through.
So this is an ultimate that I think that, I hope people were expecting. All he does here is he will actually activate this ultimate, and as the name would suggest, he is emptying the crypts of the underworld. When he opens this, and this, just to preface this is by far the biggest area ultimate we have ever introduced into Smite. He covers a very, very large area, and what happens is he will actually summon wraiths, a lot of them, from the underworld that will surge forward, and they just start filling this space and looking for
that's so
targets.
cool. That'd be perfect for Gold Fury fights or for Fire
right.
Giant fights. Oh my gosh.
Now, one thing to think about here, Kelly, is number one, if the person isn't healing, he has no hard CC, he has no movement, he has no escape. This is a character that is all about area denial. He can spread corpses out and deny a space. He pops the ultimate, he denies space, but he's not about escape. It's more about intelligent play and position yourself properly and denying areas to people that want to go for it.
So he's going to be a high skill cap god.
Yes, he's actually listed as hard right now. But one thing to think about as well about this is that as he's yelling. The ultimate itself does damage per ghost that hits you, but every ghost that hits you applies a stacking slow. So the longer you're in it, the slower you get and the more damage you take. This slow starts at 7% per wraith and can stack up to 8 times. That's 56% slow. And so, if you hit by 1 or 2 wraiths, you won't really feel it that much, but if you're trying to cross the whole thing, you'll just get slower and slower and slower. And he's really great at denying areas in this way. If someone jumps on him, he can pop it. And this will go through walls as well. And so you can shoot it over mid-camps or something like that. He's really great at putting this, but one thing to think about as well, characters, while he's great against mages, he's pretty great against some assassins. There are warriors that find his damage negligible, and also certain assassins that are very good at blocking these. One thing that's cool about this as well is because these are blocked by certain things, they're blocked by Ymir walls, they're blocked by on her pillars, and they're also...
Is it portionally blocked though? Like if you wall off only half of it, is the other half...
Just whatever is in that portion.
Oh, that's
so Ymir can wall it and then protect his team from the onslaught of raids.
Oh, that's so cool. So like Kabrakan, Ymir,
right.
even Thor, they
That's
can
right.
wall that. Oh my gosh, sorry, that's really cool.
And so one thing to think about as well is the wraiths disappear when they hit someone, which means if Ymir went first and everyone lined up behind him, only Ymir would get hit.
Ooh.
So he can lead the way through the darkness for his team because they disappear when they hit someone.
Aww. That's almost romantic. All right, well, let's show his recolor, which if I can find it super quick. What are you called? Ah, you are called Death Mask. So he gets his recolor this patch as well, and his voice pack, so let's take a look at that.
Of course, we had to do black and red.
Oh yeah, it's Smite tradition.
Pretty cool.
Well done, my minion. Obey the call of Ah Puch. So, all will serve Ah Puch. This empty. Surely, you did not think you could win. Good luck.
Let's try the retreat. It's one
Don't
of my
waste
favorites.
my time.
Ooh, okay. Can we get a retreat? Production?
Run! Run!
That's awesome.
Run!
And there it is.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is fantastic.
Impossible.
So, anything interesting